You might be wondering what a Chinese finger trap has to do with whip making, but they actually both work on the same principle of having an outer layer that's tightly woven that's pulling over top of a core of some kind. Vivian Kellum invented the Kellum grip, and it's used to pull on wires and to relieve tension from them under stress, like where the power line's attached to your house. As long as there's tension on the core, the strands that are woven over top will hold it in place, just like when you're adding a belly to your whip. Here's how to get started.
So once you've got your strings cut to the length you need, you got to pull the guts out. You just grab onto the end of that and pull them through. And you don't want to throw those away, because those are what you want to use to bind your core, your shot-loaded core together. Then you need to melt your ends. So they don't fray on you. You don't have to worry about them being pretty, because they're going to get trimmed off as you go. Steal one of your wife's bobby pins, and you organize your strands by length on your bobby pin. Another thing I want to point out is, depending on the brand of paracord you get, so we get this to focus here, you can see that they're different sizes. The blue one is 550 paracord from a paracord supplier. This one is just paracord from Home Depot. So this one had the 7 individual strands in it. This one from Home Depot, you can see it's just got a coiled nylon core in it. This one is actually wider than the 550 cord, and that can cause you problems when you're trying to do your plaiting, because they won't be the same size, they won't pull tight to the same width, and it'll make wrinkles. You'll end up with some that'll lay flat and some that won't. Then you just mash your ends together, get the center of your strand, and load her on the bobby pin, just like that. So here I've got a 2x6 that I painted white just to help keep things clean. I've got a screw in the back to hold this piece of string that I've just doubled over to make a slip knot here, so that I can use it to hold whatever part of the whip I'm working on, so that I can work on it sitting down. And then all you gotta do is pull it tight and it'll hang right there, and you can work on it, and it keeps everything nice and neat. Okay, I've got my shot loaded cord that's all bound together. I've got it tied up on this board to hold it up where I need it, and I've got each of the strands from shortest to longest on the bobby pin. Okay, and you're gonna put this on here and just kind of hold it there for now, and when you start to plait these, it's going to be like a Kellum grip or Chinese finger trap around the core, and as long as you keep it pulled tight, it won't come loose. Okay, so you take your top strand, you go around the back, you go underneath 2 and across the front. Okay, and then that goes at the bottom. Okay, now 1, 2, you come around the back and over top. Okay, 1, 2, and it helps when you begin to use different colors for each of your strands, because that helps you to keep track of them so that you don't get them out of order. Otherwise, you have to undo what you just did and redo it to keep the strands in the correct order. And that's really all you're doing just for this simple kind of plait. When you get a little more into it and you start doing patterns, you'll start doing combinations of how many you're going under or over, and then as you wrap it around, you'll start to create patterns. But just to start with, you don't need to worry about that. Once you've got each of your strands wrapped in place, then you can go back and start to tighten your strands one by one to keep everything tight. Okay, so now see how I've got the blue stripe, the white and the blue, blue stripe, white, blue, and then the orange and the orange stripe, orange, orange stripe, and then the final blue at the bottom. It's here. Okay, so I've got each strand wrapped through at least once. So now I can go through and pull on each one of these strands, and it will pull itself tight against the core on that side. Okay. So one of the things that I do as you're going, because your hands are going to cramp and you'll have to take a break and whatnot, I just get a little clamp and clamp it down tight on there. Then I can let go and this isn't going to loosen. But when you release this, you're going to want to have a hold on these so that they don't start to unravel, and you're going to want to start by retightening each strand before you start to plait again. That will keep you from having loose spots in your weave.
Now all you've got to do is keep repeating that pattern until you reach the end of each strand.